Hello, so today's video is a full face of first impressions. However, before I get into the video, let me just explain a few things. So basically, I'd bought some products from the brand L'Oreal that I was going to use in this video, but I decided I wasn't going to use them when I started filming this because I recently found out about the situation with Monroe Bergdorf. To summarise it briefly, a couple years ago, she made some comments about racism and white supremacy. It was in response to a right-wing rally in America. Basically, I think her comments were taken out of context, and honestly, I personally don't feel like she said anything really that controversial. She was just, calling out white supremacy. Basically, she got fired from L'Oreal for it, and I just think the whole thing was very hypocritical because they then, recently posted loads of stuff supporting Black Lives Matter, and they've also recently had Amber Heard on on their Instagram as an ambassador, and there's a lot of problems with Amber Heard that I won't get into, but, basically, she's an abuser, and apparently she also has a past of racism as well. I've seen that on Twitter. However, about a week ago, I think, since I'm editing this, Monroe did release a statement. I will put a screenshot of what she posted on the screen. So it seems that L'Oreal has reached out and tried to, make amends, and she's obviously got a new role in the company. So I'm glad that they addressed it, because obviously it kind of seemed like they weren't addressing it and that they were just kind of sweeping it under the rug. But the fact that they have actually addressed it, I think, is a good thing. And maybe it is damage control or whatever, but I'd rather they address it and it be because of damage control than they not address it at all. So for that reason, I will support the brand again, and the products that I was going to use in this video, I will use in some other videos. I did recently look on L'Oreal's Instagram and they have still got the picture of Amber Heard there, so I really hope that they do remove that soon. It does rub me a wrong way a bit that they have still got that up there, but at least they've done something. At least they've done something to make amends. So I will use L'Oreal again on my channel, but this first impressions is a bit short because I did, cut out a lot of the products that I'm going to use. But, I've got some base products, I've got some cheek products, a lip product, and some stuff in this video. So, yes, go ahead and watch that now if you want to. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. The hair's a situation that I need to correct. Let's not talk about it. For foundation, I've got the Rimmel Lasting Matte Full Coverage Mattifying Foundation. This is in the shade 0.5 Alabaster, which I think is the lightest shade. I think they do have a decent shade range for this. I have also got their concealer, but the concealer doesn't have a good shade range, but the foundation seems to. I think that is pretty pale. Actually, I'm going to use the concealer first, just because I want to test it out on bare skin. The concealer is the Lasting Matte Full Coverage Concealer. This one is in the shade 001 Illuminator. Again, I don't think there's a lot of shades for this, so I don't understand why would you have a good shade range for your foundation, but not for your concealer, like the same concealer that goes with the foundation. This does actually look quite pale, shockingly. Yeah, let me just put this on. Yeah, that's actually pretty pale. I would say it's definitely more warm toned. I'm just going to put a bit of this on my under eye and my eyelid, just on one eye, so you can see it side by side with no concealer, because I want to see what the coverage of this is like. Okay, so that is side by side with a concealer and no concealer. I'll look up. I'll look down. I wouldn't say it's full coverage. It has got some coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage though. I mean, it seems okay. The formula seems fine. It's quite line syncy. This does tend to happen a lot though with concealers. Not too sure about that. We'll see what it's like over the top of foundation. Okay, so I would say that the foundation looks maybe a little bit more pink. I don't know, but probably not the right undertones to me, but it does look quite fair. It's very thick and quite like moussey. I think it is like a reformulation of an old foundation they had. I think it had like a purple lid. I never tried that one though, so I've not got anything to compare it to. Yes, definitely very pale. So yeah, I'm not sure what to think of this. Obviously, I prefer matte foundations, either matte or semi-matte. So I was kind of drawn to it for that reason, because it's matte. But we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so it's definitely too pale for me, and it could use a little bit more warmth. I feel like maybe I should have got like the warm porcelain shade. I think that's what it was called. So this foundation, I'm not sure I'm loving how it looks on the skin. It's something a bit weird about the texture of it. I don't know. I don't dislike it, but the coverage I would say is probably just like solid medium, just because I can still see my blemishes quite a bit, but then it has covered reasonably well. I don't know, there's something just a bit like crusty almost about how this looks. I'm not sure what to think of this. I'm not loving it from first impressions, but I will definitely need to keep using this a lot more. It's just something a little bit crusty about the appearance of it. I just don't think it looks super flattering on the skin. We'll see. Maybe it will grow on me. Okay, so we'll use the concealer over it. So yeah, this is definitely a lot more warm toned than the foundation is. So I'm going to pop this in my eyes and then around my mouth. I've got a lot of blemishes recently. I think it's a bleach I used on my hair because I kept getting it on my face, and it's probably made me break out a bit, I think. Also could be the fact that I've literally been on my period for about 10 weeks. That's not an exaggeration. I changed pill and have literally been on my period for about 10 weeks. It is something I should probably address. Okay, so I feel like this concealer does not like the foundation, which is strange because they're literally both part of the Lasting Matte range. It's almost just gone patchy in places and like products being removed. I don't know if you can see, just like where I've blended it around my chin, my mouth, and on my nose. It's like there's some congealment going on. They don't seem to like each other that much. Not liking the skin so far. Ooh, I was hoping for some good things from these products because I do like matte products, but I just don't feel like this is particularly flattering on my skin. And now we've got some patchiness going on too, which is fabulous. Yeah, and I just don't feel like my eye area looks particularly great. Yeah, I don't think the skin combo. I feel like if you've got a foundation and a concealer in the same sort of range, they should work well together. Surely, right? They shouldn't eat each other up. Now I do have a new powder to use, but I don't feel like it's going to get a fair test because the base isn't going well. And I do feel like it's very rare that a powder can save a bad base. So I got the I Heart Revolution Coconut Baking Powder. I've been wanting to try these for a while. So I think there's about 4 different shades of them, and they're all like named after a different fruit. Is coconut fruit? I assume it's a fruit. I think this is the lightest one anyway. It looks like sort of white. It's got like a tiny bit of a tint to it, so hopefully it doesn't do anything weird with the colour. But for the most part, it looks like pretty translucent. It's quite big as well. You seem to get a lot of product in it. Oh god, I don't have any nails because I've gone back to work. Yeah, so it's not completely white. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, but it's definitely very like fair. I think this definitely is the shade for fair skin. It does come with a very soft feeling powder puff as well, but I do not want to use that. I'm going to use this like fibery sponge. I've been using this to sort of set my under eyes because it picks up powder really well because of the fibres on it. I'm not expecting this to look great just because I feel like the more I look at this base, the more horrible it looks. It does not look nice on the skin at all. I'm quite disappointed, to be honest. That's some money down the drain. I'll try it like maybe with like a hydrating primer, or I don't know, what else could I do with this foundation? Maybe mix it to make it look better. But so far I'm not liking it, so I'm just going to try and tap out my creases. Well, I'm just going to set my whole face with this powder. I'll switch to a brush to do my non-eye area. I wasn't expecting that powder to do anything magical there because the base already looked awful. I feel like that could potentially be a nice powder. I mean, it's set down everything well. doesn't seem to be one patchy or anything. I mean, well, it's not made it any more patchy than it was before. Yeah, I definitely need to try that out with some base products I like. I think that could be nice, but I can't really judge it 100% because it's got a terrible base on underneath. But that could potentially be another Revolution powder I like, because I don't really like their powders that often, or I do quite like the Conceal and Define powder foundation that they released recently. But other than that, I've not had much luck with their powders. So I'm looking very ghostly right now, so let's start warming up this face. So for bronzer, I got a product from Revlon. This is their Skin Light Prismatic Bronzer in 115 Sun-Kissed Beam. I feel like the colour may be a bit dark for me, I'm not sure, but I mean, we'll make it work today. The texture feels quite nice. It's kind of mostly matte, but it does have like a little bit of glow in it, which is quite nice. I'm just going to shove this through my cheeks and my forehead, anywhere where I want to warm this up a bit. Just basically everywhere, because I look like a ghost. It doesn't seem to be coming out too pigmented, which is nice. I like bronzers that are more like subtle and buildable. And actually I feel like the colour translates a lot better on the face. It seems a bit more like sort of sun-kissed, as opposed to being like really orangey. Okay, I'll need to try that when I have a matching base, but I actually think that is quite nice. I was worried it would look like too harsh, but I actually think on my normal skin tone that could be really nice. I have this highlight palette from e.l.f. It's called the Glow Gleam Beam, and I think there's like a light one and a dark one, I think, but it looks like this. They're all supposed to be highlighters. Obviously these wouldn't all work for me as highlighters. I think this one here would be like a blush topper, and I think this one I think both of these two here I could like kind of top over as bronzers. I feel like these two at the end I'd probably use as highlights. Not sure about this one. See, the white one, when you swatch it, it does look pretty like sheer and like it's just sort of like glitter, so I'm a bit confused by that. But then this sort of more goldy toned one underneath it, I mean, seems to swatch better. So I'm just going to wipe all the highlighter off my brush. So I think I'll use this sort of goldy pale one at the end here, and I'll just start by using it on one cheekbone and see what it's like as a highlight. See, I don't feel like it's picking up a lot of product. I know that with some e.l.f. highlighters you do need to sort of scrape at it a bit, so maybe I'll try that. It's nice. I was expecting a bit more pigment from it, to be honest. I feel like it just looks more, it's just a bit more subtle. Like, I like subtle highlighters, but not that subtle. I'm gonna try this weird whitey one, which I'm not sure about on the other side. It seems just like, yeah, like quite similar to the Diamond Bomb from Fenty, but then I feel like that one packs a bit more punch than this. It's just like a kind of sheer sheen of glitter on the cheek. I feel like this palette's maybe a bit underwhelming, which I'd heard like good things about this, so I'm surprised by that. I'm just going to carry on with those two shades. I'll probably focus more on the gold one, maybe top that over it, and just put it over the rest of my highlight spots. I don't hate it, like it has done something obviously, but I feel like I was just expecting a bit more from that. I'm going to get some of the more bronzy shades actually. I think I'll use this one here. I just sweep that through my cheeks, just to add to my bronzer, because it has got more of a bronzy tone, well, on my skin tone anyway. That works, and I think I'll use a bit of this more pinky toned one and like kind of use it as a blush. Yeah, it's not really showing up very well. I think maybe I just need to scrape at these like more baked ones at the bottom a bit, because I don't know, I just feel like the pigment isn't quite there. Yeah, that palette's underwhelming, but I'll keep trying it. So all of my eye and brow products were from L'Oreal, so I'm just gonna do all of that off camera. Then we've got a lipstick and a setting spray to finish off with, so I'll be back. Okay, and I'm back. Yes, I know, my hair needs some serious toning. I'm working on it. Okay, so I've got a lip product. This is from Revlon. This is their Super Lustrous Lipstick. It's one of the matte ones. It's in the shade 011 Untold Stories. I love me a matte bullet lip. I'm all about that life.
Alright, let's pop this on. Okay, I feel like that's the epitome of a your lips but better colour. I feel like that's the exact same colour as my actual lips. And the formula feels really matte and velvety. I think we could be onto something there. I think I could have found my new favourite lipstick. The formula seems really nice. And the colour is literally just the same colour as my lips. So if you've got a similar skin tone to me, this could be your perfect nude. 011 Untold Stories is the colour. Kind of amazed by that. That is really nice. I really like that product. So the last thing I've got to try is the setting spray. So this is from Collection. It's their Primed and Ready Dewy Makeup Fixing Spray. I'm really on the look for like a dewy setting spray that's just going to do something magical to my skin. I really want to try the Morphe one, but you know, any recommendations are appreciated. This one did have good reviews, so hopefully I like it. Mist seems fine. Alright, let's give this a go. Ooh. The mist is good. Doesn't seem to have put any weird dots in my face. That is a problem I have with a lot of setting sprays. Let's give it a dry. I quite like that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's done anything magical to my skin, but I feel like it does, you know, emphasize the highlight a bit more. I feel like it's made me look a little bit less powdery. So also I've not really got any complaints with it. The mist is good. It doesn't seem to have left any weird dots. In fact, I kind of want to put some more on. Should I put some more on? Let's put some more on. It doesn't have like a scent or anything. It's quite nice when setting sprays have like a nice scent, but that's not really, it's not really a big deal. Yeah, again, it's not done anything revolutionary, but I like it. I don't really have any complaints. I think it's not done a bad job. But to summarise the products, I'm not digging the foundation or the concealer. I think the powder could be quite nice actually. I do feel like the powder overall improved the look of the base. The highlighter palette I'm not sold on, but I'm willing to give it more chances. The Revlon bronzer I quite liked. The Revlon lipstick I really liked. Quite like the setting spray. I think Revlon is the highlight from this video. The Revlon products have impressed me the most. So I will do an update and makeup review on everything that I've used in this video. So that will be my June/July makeup review. So it'll probably be up like early September. I am back at work now, but I do want to try and make my content as regular as I can. Also, being back at work means I have a little bit more money to spend on things. So that's all for this video. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.